Good morning, guys. Good morning, ladies. I hope you are having a good day. And trust me, the teaching staff and I know that this isn't the most fun time for you guys, but we are worried about you. We pray about you. Whenever we drive up to the facility, we think about you guys who are on the other side of the wall, and we'd like to interact with you. We'd like to go inside just one time and give all of you a hug. But with as contagious as this virus is, we can't. And because we don't want you catching it from all the reports that we've got. But we're going to get through it. Yeah, trust me, we are. If your great-great-grandparents got through the Great Depression, through World War II and the rationing, we can get through this. This is going to be a breeze. It's a cakewalk. So we're going to make that. All right. All right. What we're going to do today is something that I've taught. I know some of you, probably most of you, but it's called Speedy Addition. In other words, you're stuck in a classroom there or in your pod. You don't have a calculator, right? Yeah. And I told you that one day this could happen, that you're not going to have one of those little blue and white calculators to do all the calculations. And so I've been trying to deal with that and give you some tools, some mental tools, so that you can make life easier on yourself. In other words, you can do math more quickly, more easily, more satisfactorily without a calculator. And that's what I'm going to continue to do today. So I'm going to show you this is how I do math how I do addition when I'm in the classroom. And y'all have seen me do this, where I'll add column of numbers, and I don't use a calculator, and I write it down. Now to do that, I don't do math the traditional way because it's just not efficient. It's not efficient because if you look at the way our brain thinks, we read from left to right, from the left side of the page to the right side of the page. And we're mostly right-handed. There are left-handed people, but the vast majority of people are right-handed. And so when you write, you're writing from left to right. And when you do that, you can see everything you've written. You don't have to move your hand out of the way to see what you've written. Now, there are some other languages that are designed to be written right to left. Farsi, Arabic, Hebrew, a lot of the Middle Eastern languages are designed to be written right to left. But the way our language is designed, it's left to right, so that we can see what we've written. So, how do we teach our children how to add from right to left? Now, wait a minute. That's just backwards from everything else that we do. Let me show you. Okay, this is the way you were taught to add. Since you were in the first grade, this is the way every teacher has always said, here's how you add numbers. 4 plus 3 is 7. You start at the right, then you go to the left. 8 plus 2 is 10. So you bring the 0 down, carry the 1. And then 1 plus 3 plus 2. 1 plus 3 is 4, plus 2 is 6. And we don't have anything to carry, so we just bring the 1 down. But that's not the way your brain thinks. We don't think from right to left. We think left to right. So why not learn how to add left to right? It's a good question. Because here's the way you do it. You start with the left-hand side, 1. But you look at this column. And is this column, if you add that up, is it more than 10? Or is it more than 9? Is it 10? At least 10. Well, it's not. It's 5. So since this is less than 10, we don't have to carry 1. So we know we're just going to bring this 1 down. Now we look at this column. That's 5. But if we look one more column to the right, is that more than 10? Yes. So we know we're going to have to carry 1. So 3 plus 2 plus the 1 that we carried is 6. And we know this is 10, but is this more than 9? 8, but it's not, so we don't carry 1. So 8 plus 2 is 10. 0, we've already carried the 1. And then 4 plus 3 is 7. It doesn't seem like we saved a lot of time there, mainly due to the fact that I was explaining it all. So let's try a different one. All right. This time, I'm going to just do the Speed Addition first. All right, I look at this column first, actually, so that it's not more than 10. So this is just 11. This is more than 10, so I carry the 1. That makes this 8. This is 0, and that's 4. So see how fast that was. Now let's check our answers, and we'll do it the traditional way. 3 plus 1 is 4. 6 plus 4 is 10. Carry 1. 5 plus 1 plus 2 is 8. And then 8 plus 3 is 11. So we're getting the right answer, but we're doing it in such a way that is more natural for your brain to think about it. That's why this works so well. This works even better when you're using more than 2 numbers. 2 numbers is easy. Anybody can do that. But when you start getting to 3 and 4 and 5 numbers, it becomes a little more difficult, but this technique makes it easier. All right, so here, the middle column is going to be more than 10, obviously. So 3 plus 4 is 7, 8 plus 1 is 9. 6 plus 4 is 14 plus 8 is 18. This is going to be more than 10, or 10 or more. So we carry a 1, so that's going to be 9. And 2 plus 7 is 9. 2 9s is 18. 998. And we don't have to talk about it. You can write it faster. All right, so let's check it traditionally. 7 plus 2 is 9. 9 plus 9 is 18. Carry 1. 6 plus 4 is 10 plus 9 is 19. And 7, 8, 9. 998. Again, it doesn't look like there's a lot of difference. But with practice, you can do this method so much faster than this. This just seems clunky once you get used to the idea. Here's some 5-digit numbers. Now, I haven't worked these out beforehand. Couldn't tell you what the answer is just right now. What we're going to do, we're going to find out what it is together. All right, 7. And this is going to be 10, so this is going to have to be 8. 80,073. And again, you're just looking at the numbers left or right, and you'll be able to add them up in your head so much faster than doing it the traditional way. But let's check it. So 13, 7. This is 8 and 2, that's 10. Carry a 1, that's 10. And carry a 1, that's 8. Without a calculator, you can make additions of you can add large numbers in your head. This should come as a surprise to most of you who are think you have to have a calculator to do these things. You don't. You know exactly how to do these things in your head. And with a little practice, you get much more confident at using this technique. So here's what I want you to do. Take the paper, take the assignment, and I want you to use this technique, adding from left to right rather than from right to left on all of these. Once you get a little more confident, these are some fairly simple ones here. And they get a little more difficult, but not too much. And then tomorrow we've got another set, and these are a little more complicated still. But with what I've just shown you, you're going to be surprised. You're going to surprise yourself at how quickly you can add all these up without using traditional math. It'll be more accurate, and you can always check your numbers by adding them to the correct way. But I don't want you to do that first. The entire lesson is to show you a different technique, and I want you to practice that technique by adding left to right. And I know you feel more comfortable, or some of you are going to feel a lot more comfortable doing it from left to right because that's what you've always done. But try this method, and it's going to be slow at first, but that's okay.